welcome to Sarah's Variety Show. Today on Sarah's Variety Show, we're going to discuss another baseball player as we are in the baseball season. But I know most of you probably think of April 15th as Tax Day. But did you also know that it is named as Jackie Robinson Day? Now, I'm sure most of you know who Jackie Robinson is, but I'm going to share some facts with you all about his family and how he got into baseball. And in honor of Jackie Robinson Day, I thought it'd be fitting to talk about him because I'm sure we'd all fall asleep if we talked about taxes. So, who was Jackie Robinson? Robinson became the first black athlete to play Major League Baseball in the 20th century, where he took the field for the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1947. Throughout his decade-long career, Robinson distinguished himself as one of the game's most talented and exciting players, recording an impressive .311 career batting average. He was also a vocal civil rights activist. Born Jack Roosevelt Robinson on January 31st, 1919 in Cairo, Georgia, the youngest of 5 children, Robinson was raised in relative poverty by a single mother. He attended John Muir High School in Pasadena, California, and Pasadena Junior College, where he was an excellent athlete and played 4 sports: football, basketball, track, and baseball. He was named the region's most valuable player in baseball in 1938. Robinson's older brother, Matthew, inspired Robinson to pursue his talent and love of athletics. Matthew won a silver medal in the 200-meter dash just behind Jesse Owens at the 1936 Olympic Games in Berlin. An athletic family, it sounds like. Robinson continued his education at UCLA, where he became the university's first student to win varsity letters in 4 sports. In 1941, despite his athletic success, Robinson was forced to leave UCLA just shy of graduation due to financial hardship. He moved to Honolulu, Hawaii, where he played football for the semi-professional Honolulu Bears. His season with the Bears was cut short when the United States entered into World War II. From 1942 to 1944, Robinson served as a second lieutenant in the United States Army. However, he never saw combat. During boot camp at Fort Hood, Texas, Robinson was arrested and court-martialed in 1944 for refusing to give up his seat and move to the back of a segregated bus. Robinson's excellent reputation, combined with the efforts of his friends, the NAACP, and various black newspapers shed public light on the injustice. Ultimately, he was acquitted of the charges and received an honorable discharge from the military. His courage and moral objection to racial segregation were precursors to the impact Robinson would have in Major League Baseball. In the early 1940s, Robinson met nurse-in-training Rachel Issam when they were both attending UCLA. The couple was later married on February 10, 1946. As Robinson made his career in the major leagues, the couple faced mounting racism, from insults to death threats. Later in life, both Jackie and Rachel became actively involved in the civil rights movement. Jackie and Rachel had 3 children together: Jack, Sharon, and David. Rachel said that she and Jackie went to great lengths to create a nurturing home that sheltered their kids from racism. In 1971, the couple's oldest child, Jack Robinson Jr., died at the age of 24 in a car accident. Their middle child, Sharon Robinson, is an author and consultant for Major League Baseball, while their youngest child, David Robinson, is a coffee farmer in Tanzania. After his discharge from the Army in 1944, Robinson began to play baseball professionally. At the time, the sport was segregated, and African Americans and white people played in separate leagues. Robinson began playing in what was called the Negro Leagues, but he was soon chosen by Branch Rickey, president of the Brooklyn Dodgers, to help integrate Major League Baseball. He joined the all-white Montreal Royals, a farm team for the Brooklyn Dodgers, in 1946. Robinson later moved to Florida to begin spring training with the Royals. Rickey knew there would be difficult times ahead for the young athlete, and so made Robinson promise not to fight back when confronted with racism. Rickey also personally tested Robinson's reactions to the racial slurs and insults he knew the player would endure. From the beginning of his career with the Dodgers, Robinson's will was tested. Some of his new teammates objected to having an African American on their team. People in the crowd sometimes jeered Robinson, and his family received threats. Despite the racial abuse, particularly at away games, Robinson had an outstanding start with the Royals, leading the International League with a .39 batting average and .985 fielding percentage. His successful year led to his promotion to join the Dodgers. Robinson played his first game at Ebbets Field for the Brooklyn Dodgers on April 15, 1947. Thus, we celebrate Jackie Robinson Day on April 15th. This made history as the first black athlete to play Major League Baseball in the 20th century. The harassment continued, however, most notably by the Philadelphia Phillies and their manager, Ben Chapman. During one infamous game, Chapman and his team shouted derogatory terms at Robinson from their dugout. Many players on the opposing team threatened not to play against the Dodgers. Even his own teammates threatened to sit out. But Dodgers manager Leo Durocher informed them that he would sooner trade them than Robinson. His loyalty to the player set the tone for the rest of Robinson's career with the team. Others defended Robinson's right to play in the major leagues, including league president Ford Frick. baseball commissioner Happy Chandler, Jewish baseball star Hank Greenberg, and Dodgers shortstop and team captain Pee Wee Reese. In one incident, while fans harassed Robinson from the stands, Reese walked over and put his arm around his teammate, a gesture that has become legendary in baseball history. Robinson succeeded in putting the prejudice and racial strife aside and showed everyone what a talented player he was. In his first year, he batted .297 and with 12 home runs, helped the Dodgers win the National League pennant. That year, Robinson led the National League in stolen bases and was selected as Rookie of the Year. He continued to wow fans and critics alike with impressive feats, such as an outstanding .342 batting average during the 1949 season. He led in stolen bases that year and earned the National League's Most Valuable Player award. Robinson soon became a hero of the sport, even among former critics, and was the subject of the popular song, "Did You See Jackie Robinson Hit That Ball?" His success in the major leagues opened the door for other African American players, such as Satchel Paige, Willie Mays, and Hank Aaron. In his decade-long career with the Dodgers, Robinson and his team won the National League pennant several times. Finally, in 1955, he helped them achieve the ultimate victory, winning the World Series. After failing before in 4 other series matchups, the Dodgers beat the New York Yankees. He helped the team win 1 more National League pennant the following season. In December 1956, Robinson was traded to the New York Giants, but he never played a game for the team. He retired on January 5th, 1957. After baseball, Robinson became active in business and continued his work as an activist for social change. He worked as an executive for the Chock-full-o'-Nuts Coffee Company and restaurant chain and helped establish the African-American-owned Freedom Bank. In 1962, Robinson was the first African American to be inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. In honor of his legacy, in 1972, the Dodgers retired his jersey number of 42. Robinson died from heart problems and diabetes complications on October 24, 1972, in Stamford, Connecticut. He was just 53 years old. After Robinson's death in 1942, his wife Rachel established the Jackie Robinson Foundation, dedicated to honoring and preserving his work and his life. The foundation helps young people in need by providing scholarships and mentoring programs. There are several movies and documentaries regarding the story of Jackie Robinson, and I know many of you lived it. One of the famous movies is 42, the Jackie Robinson story. And hopefully you learned maybe something a little new today. and I appreciate you all tuning in for today's variety show and learning about Jackie Robinson and why we have National Jackie Robinson Day on August 15th. Have a great day, Prairie Lakes.